always wanted to be a movie star. I always wanted to be a movie star.
Why do I have to do it, and why can't I just be an ordinary person? Why am I doing this? Why do I have to do it, and why can't I just be an ordinary person?
I always wanted to be a movie star.
It was the day that she started knowing she had a gift that started showing. It was the day that she started knowing she had a gift that started showing. The star make her pull the strings. He gave her golden wings. But vicious snakes invade her world with cigarettes and purple pills. Girl on a mind trip, lost on the mind way. She commits to a custom like guy. Oversexed, rebel of robber. Tired, punched and numbered. Off with her head to the king of lightning.
Would you like to come along for the ride?
There is an occult explosion taking place in the Western world. There is an occult explosion taking place in the Western world. There is an occult explosion taking place in the Western world. There is an occult explosion taking place in the Western world.
Girl on a mind trip, lost on the mind way. Sacrifice to the beat of pipers. Daggers cut her star-lost way.
There is an occult explosion taking place in the Western world. There is an occult explosion taking place in the Western world. There is an occult explosion taking place in the Western world. There is an occult explosion taking place in the Western world.
Would you like to come along for the ride? I always wanted to be a movie star. I always wanted to be a movie star.
not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian.
In Louisiana swamps where the gators grow, a voodoo witchy sways in the moon's white glow. She chants her spells, the fires her stage, bringing back her lover from his dusty grave. Her hips they shake like leaves in the breeze. With every twist and turn, she brings him to his knees. The voodoo drums beat in the dark with flight. She dances naked under stars, dark as night. Bring him back, bring him to life. From the shadowy depths, through the magic strife. Dance on his tomb and let the spirits rave. For love is wild and it can't stay in a grave. New Orleans horns blare wild and free. Her feet in the muck, the rhythms of decree. From the depths of the bayou, sound explodes. In the chill midnight, the magic code. She feels the power coursing through her veins, turning moss and mud into love unchained. The spirits guide her in the dance she weaves. His eyes start to open as she believes. Bring him back, bring him to life. From the shadowy depths, through the magic strife. Dance on his tomb and let the spirits rave. For love is wild and it can't stay in a grave. Bring him back, bring him to life. From the shadowy depths, through the magic strife. Dance on his tomb and let the spirits
What?
rave.
Yeah.
For love is wild and
What
it
is-
can't stay in a grave.
What? It's starting out. I love you.
Good evening, fans of fantastic films. Welcome once again to the Drive-In Asylum Late Movie with me, Bill Van Ryn, and Sam Panico.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's nice to be back. We were off for a week, but super excited to be up late with everybody. And thanks, everybody, for showing up.
And that intro was just stunning. Absolutely stunning. Electro Manuel. I can't get enough of this interesting and anonymous new band.
Yeah. So exciting.
Electro Manuel. Like Emmanuel, except Electro Emmanuel.
Exactly. They have a whole YouTube channel that sprung up out of nowhere a couple weeks ago. So
They seem to their shit's always about our movies.
yeah, I don't know how that happens, but
Every single one of them.
they must be fans. Maybe they're some of those lurkers that are out there in the YouTube we talked about.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, I think so. So welcome everybody to the show. And I just saw somebody say we're like less than 2 weeks away from Halloween, which is super exciting.
Yeah.
This is our Christmas, right? Like this is the best time that there is. So are you enjoying it so far, Bill? Are you have you decorated yet? Are you into the spirit yet?
Well, look around you. Yes, I have decorated.
Yes.
I only got a little bit in the camera frame tonight, but
Yeah.
you know, I try not to do too much because you remember how the house used to look at Halloween. I don't know if you were ever in our house. Like, well, you were at the Halloween parties.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it was like walking into a haunted attraction, and I don't know why I did all that shit. I've scaled back.
Yeah.
How about you?
We are in a fall kind of decoration right now. there's a lot of festive pumpkins and leaves and paintings and whatnot around here. So it's very orange and it's nice. Um, by next week, supposedly, we'll be totally moved into the basement. We spent most of today moving in there and decorating. And there are many posters that are going up. So many posters. Um, a lot of stuff going on. So hopefully next week, the show will be from down there and I'll get to take you guys around. But I got to put up movies today. And let me tell you, Bill, there's no feeling like it saying, oh, wow, I have this. It was a really great feeling.
Does this mean you're going to stop telling us don't look in the basement?
Start looking in the basement. Yes.
Start looking in the basement.
Yeah.
I want to look in the basement. I've been like dying to go into your horror basement, even though I knew it wasn't there.
It is back. It is 36 boxes of movies were put away in the last 2 days. My alphabetizing skills, my brain hurts from all the alphabetizing, but it's been done. So very excited. So hope everybody else is getting ready to decorate for Christmas and putting up, not Christmas, gosh, Halloween. Yeah.
Halloween.
I say this because tonight we were at, what do you call it? At Walmart and all the Christmas stuff's out already. Like all the
I
trees.
know.
And it's like,
I hate it.
let's enjoy the holiday we're about to get into.
It's intrusive. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I don't want to start thinking about buying Christmas presents this early. This is early in the season for me. I know people that do gift shopping year round.
I might be
can't
married
do
to
that.
one that does gift shopping year round.
I can't do that. I just can't wrap my head around it. So
Yeah.
it's always stressful.
Yeah. She's actually going to Michigan this week and she's going to go to the Christmas store, Bronner's, in like the year-round Christmas town. So that's where she's going on Tuesday. So there'll be a lot of ornaments purchased and Christmas sundries, as it were. But
I do believe that if that is her thing, she is entitled.
She is entitled to it, yes. But it's Halloween right now, and that's important. I was thinking, Bill, we were talking before we started too. I love Halloween, and for the first time in a long time, I actually got YouTube TV a couple weeks ago, and I have AMC for the holidays, which I haven't had for a while.
Oh, wow.
And that's it's kind of an old school thing that, the Fear Fest is on AMC, but I got to see one of the commercials for it and I got super excited. And then I watched Friday One on it. And it was a great feeling just to sit back and watch Friday One with commercials.
Well, what monster could have watched that?
Oh,
It's just this place and the station.
What stuff have you started your Halloween watching yet? Have you started or are there like some set movies that you get into?
Well, there's some traditional stuff, that I get into every year, like The Child. I have to watch The Child.
Yeah.
I have to watch Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. Any low budget exploitation film that has actual monsters in it is worth seeking out, like Lamora. There's strange ghouls in these movies, and the makeup is always, it looks like a JC's haunted house, like a haunted attraction. It just makes it all the more better at Halloween. Salem's Lot, the original Salem's Lot, please.
We watched the original right after the new one, and it was like washing off dirt. It felt so good. Like in the first 10 minutes, I was like, there's just a feeling in the original, like, because it is just, it's not slow, but it's a hang. Do you know what I mean? Like you get to meet the people in the town and spend time with them. And it's like, and it all matters, but it's like, it's great. Like I love Fred Willard in it. Like I want more Fred Willard's character doing the stuff he does.
Larry Crockett.
Yeah, Larry Crockett.
So it looks like Tracy went to one of those Camp Blood. Oh, she went to the Mahoning Drive-In.
Yeah.
I remember there were some fantastic pictures from there of Adrienne King, Amy Steele, and they were doing their Friday shtick at the drive-in. Could you imagine how awesome that would be?
Oh.
How could we have? What monster could have made us miss that?
Speaking of Halloween, I put, as I was putting the movies away, I should probably show you guys next week, but There's an entire shelf that's just Halloween. All the different cuts, all the different versions. There's
You would need it.
each of the movies. There's the TV cut. There's a cut that's the first two movies put together. There's a cut that's 4, 5, and 6 put together with the extra. Like, there's multiple cuts of 6. It's and the other day we were in the store, and you'll see it in the spoiler of the movies I'll be showing. Becca's like, I think my Rob Zombie 1 is scratched. There are 3 copies of Rob Zombie 1. Now there's a third one that just got added. So, but it's okay because like it's good to have a lot of copies of Halloween. It's good to have a lot of copies of the movies that you love. And there's a lot of Friday the 13th down there, and there's a lot of Halloweens down there, which is good.
Me, I obsess over how much room that's going to take up on my shelf.
Yeah.
Because I only have a limited shelf that I'm working with. And, you know, I don't know. I would just be overwhelmed by that many movies in my house as you have.
Well, I
would feel each one of those things is an obligation. It's something you have to do at some point later.
There's I took 4 boxes out to sell. And then I tossed a lot of bootlegs too. But there's just so much to go through. But they're not to me, they're like friends. Like, I love the feeling of sitting down there. And today, as I was taking stuff out and being like, oh, I have Patrick Still Lives in my house. Like, what an amazing thing to be like, I can go.
I don't even have that one.
Oh, I got it.
Let that one go.
I got it for $5 because they did their DVD clearance. And I was like, well, I'll just get the DVD on clearance. And,
okay.
Yeah, but it's like, how much better can the Blu-ray? I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
It wasn't like Patrick Still Lives was shot with super high fidelity cameras. You know what I mean? It was like,
I would never buy something on DVD now, and I really don't know why, because there's no reason not to. But you know, I always think like, well, I'll just buy it like at the Blu-ray level. That's supposed to be like a really nice format. And, you know, in 20 years, if I'm still alive, there's going to be some other format of Halloween I'm going to be buying, or, you know, whatever shit that I feel I have to have.
Well, it's like I always say, I still have House on the Edge of the Park on Betamax. So, do you know what I mean? Like we found
You just found that though.
Yeah. But we found a great VHS tape downstairs, because Becca taped every Oasis interview that was on TV, and the tape says House of Frankenstein and it's crossed out, and it says Oasis interview after it. And I was like, oh man.
I think it's the stuff I taped over for stupid shit that I never would have should have taped over it for. I just cringe. Yeah. Although like the old Ghost Host episodes that I recorded, and I don't know what I was thinking.
Philip mentioned, Jen Upton did Venom on podcast. Bill and I are going to be on November 8th. Phil, let us know if we're allowed to say what we're going to do, because Bill and I bullied Phil into doing a movie.
That's what we always do. We gang up.
Yeah. Mm. So, you know what's a good Halloween jam, Bill? And we showed it on the show, but it gets me in the mood. Halloween 4 gets me in the mood for the beginning of it, with the trailers in the beginning. I mean, the leaves and stuff in the beginning, and as they get to the town. As time, what'd you say?
The farms of Utah.
The farms of Utah. Yeah, not Illinois at all.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, as time has gone on, I enjoy Halloween 4 more every year. I don't know what it is.
Phil said we can tell.
Oh, go ahead, Bill. You can say it, 'cause I'm too excited to say it.
No, you say it. It's got to be you.
Yeah, we're doing Demonoid, of course. What other movie? Because Tarantino loves Demonoid, but maybe as much as we love Demonoid.
I don't think he loves it as much as we do. I refuse to believe it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone involved with that movie loves it as much as we do. So
we love it more than we should.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched this week I've been watching Chiller Theater stuff all week, movies that were on Chiller. So I've been hitting a lot of, not blank spaces, like movies. There's a lot of them that I do love. And then a couple that I haven't seen, but I watched I think Tracy mentioned watching House of Wax. I watched House of Wax this week. That movie's awesome. Like it's so good. Like it
was on Svengoolie tonight.
Yeah.
And it's this weird version of it that looks like it's shot on video.
Oh wow!
It's bizarre that they must have fixed it up with AI or something, and they made it look like it literally looked for a couple of scenes. I was like, is this some weird like off-brand House of Wax that was filmed on a TV soundstage? But no, it was just like some weird AI-ish thing. I hate it.
Oh, yeah, that's how they've been cleaning up movies lately. I watched
No,
I watched it.
don't love it.
I watched an AI cleaned up. Speaking of children movies, Goliath and the Vampires, and like it was the same way where it was like kind of robotic in motion. But man, I'd never seen that movie, Bill, and holy shit, can you even imagine how much I loved that movie? It's so awesome.
Yeah, I saw that on TV
Oh.
when I was a kid. I remember watching it. I wasn't not impressed with the vampire element of it, but
Oh my
you can
God.
tell I liked the Goliath part.
Yeah, I love the bad guy in it. Like I love when they get to his world that everything's crazy looking. It's like if you had never seen Hercules in the Haunted World, it would be like this is as far as Pebble movies could go. Then you see Hercules in the Haunted World, and you're like, oh, okay. But it's still pretty great. And it's supposedly Kino was putting it out on Blu-ray a couple years ago, and the rights owner pulled it. Like, don't you want people to see this movie?
Yeah.
I think if people saw it, they'd be like, this movie's
No
great.
comment.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I watched that, and then let me tell you what else I watched. I really dug this week. Just getting through like all this some weird chiller stuff like Ghost Diver. It's weird because there's sometimes on the show where they just had like whatever they were gonna get, like like Teenage Caveman or Bowery at Midnight. But then like there's like A Candle for the Devil was great. Like I lost my mind, aka It Happened at Nightmare Inn. I loved that movie, Bill. I
knew you were gonna love that. I couldn't believe you hadn't seen it.
I don't know
already.
how I hadn't seen it. I think because you reviewed it on the site, and then I was like, I'll get to it someday. And I was like 15 minutes into it, and I was like, God, this movie it's like they went back in time and made a movie for me. It's got like angry old women killing youth,
sexually repressed old women.
Well, the one sexually repressed, the other one sleeping with that young guy, and he's like, "I love you. I don't need all this money." And she's like, "No, take all the money from the safe. You can have all the money. Get out of town. Take all of it." And then, like, I love that, like, the when these girls come back late at night with guys, the one sister is just like so angry. Do you know what I mean? Just like enraged, and
she had many issues.
And the whole time, like Judy Easton's like, where is my sister? Oh, she said she was going to, like, this is provable that her sister is missing. You guys, do you realize this? And meanwhile, like, what did I call it? Slut soup down in the basement.
Oh my God. That movie is insane.
We got to show it. It's so good.
Oh, I'd do that any day.
I went nuts. The end of it is great. These people are just trying to eat their dinner, and there's like spoilers all around it. There's like eyeballs in it, and it's so good.
It's that kind of place.
Yeah, it's got a little chainsaw vibe to it, but it's also got like all these young Americans that have disposable incomes are showing up, and these women are like barely struggling.
I want that life.
Yeah, exactly, right. And they're just like, oh, I'm going to go up on the roof and be naked while these Italian boys whistle at me. And meanwhile, these two sisters are down in the house.
I love that part.
Wearing like knee-high socks, and they're falling down. Like, I'm going to kill these girls. I'm going to shove her down the steps and through a stained glass window.
Sunbathing nude. Oh my God.
Oh man, it's so good. I watched Last Woman on Earth too, Bill. That's a pretty good one too. Everybody in that movie is horrible. There's like
I haven't seen that movie.
Oh, it's so good. Robert Towne, who did Chinatown, is in it. Corman could only afford an actor or a writer, so he's like, why don't I just do both? So he's like, it's like a triad, like survives a nuclear war. It's like an old businessman who's shady, his lawyer, and his the rich guy's way too young wife. So what do you think's going to happen?
Yeah,
like,
there's only one way that's going.
Oh man, and it goes. Yeah, and then I watched The Bubble, which I dug.
Oh, the fantastic invasion of planet Earth.
Yeah, what a completely bonkers movie. Like, how.
Does
There's
it even really happen? Who knows?
It's like a Twilight Zone episode if Rod Serling didn't have any common sense.
Yeah. Like maybe we just wanted to do some 3D shit, you know?
Yeah. There's so much 3D shit in it too. There's like 20 minutes that got cut out for the 2D version, the 2D one, because there's like
It's nutty.
they're the greatest in House of Wax when the guy has the paddle ball and he's like hitting it towards the camera and he's like,
Oh,
I'm aiming
yes.
for your consoles. Yeah. Someone on IMDb, this is why I hate IMDb sometimes, said, well, the paddle ball wasn't invented until 1920 and that movie's set in 18.
Oh,
So
come
that is
on.
and I'm like, just get the fuck over it. Like,
I saw that in a theater and went in 1982. I was like 12
Oh my
years
God.
old and I went to see House of Wax in 3D and it was that, I was just talking about this to Mark earlier. It was the first time I'd ever seen a 3D effect on a big screen like that. I think I'd watched it on the TV on Channel 11. Or maybe that was even after I saw it at House of Wax. I think it was. So that was the first 3D I ever experienced. And it was amazing. Everybody screamed when it happened.
What's amazing is the director only had one eye. He lost his eye when he was a kid. So he couldn't even see
it.
Yeah. And like Vincent Price said, when they played the dailies of it, like in 3D finally for people, everybody was screaming. And he's like, I don't know what the big deal is about this 3D. I'm like, you can't see it. It's crazy. I love whenever the girl's asking where her friend is and why Joan of Arc looks just like her, right? And he's like, and you think that she thinks she's smart, she's going to trip him up, and he's like, "Oh my dear, I saw her picture in the paper, and I was so captivated by her beauty, frozen in death." And he like has this whole
likely story.
Oh my God, he's so good, like. And to that point, he had not played villains in movies. He'd always been like a second banana. So that's literally the movie that changed his career. And people are like, oh, this guy can play the tour. And my favorite thing about Vincent Price always is he's the bad guy, but really, when you watch it, the older you get, you're like, yeah, he totally had a reason to. That guy set him on fire. Like he poured all over him and set him on fire and
that's really fucked up.
Destroyed all his artwork. And he goes, you know what? I'm going to get Charles Bronson and a drug-addled sculptor, and I'm going to build another one of these. And then the movie coincidences in that movie, Bill, are amazing. Like the girl who he hires to be the model, her boyfriend just happens to be a sculptor. Like, do you know what I mean? Like all these coincidences just pile up. And you're like, who cares? It's great.
Yeah, that is a little bit of a stretch, isn't it?
But it's good, though. It's so good. It's amazing that it's a big studio doing 3D. Like that was like one of the biggest movies of 53. And then they tried repeating its success and then it didn't work because they're like, oh, 3D is a fad. They always say it's a fad and then it comes back every 10 years.
I know.
Yeah.
And now it's like an integral part of a lot of people. Like, did you ever get a 3D TV?
Yeah.
I didn't.
I
you
was
had
just in with it, but I never used it.
Yeah.
Though I do have a lot of 3D Blu-rays. I have The Mask and I have Revenge of the Shogun Women and Treasure of the Four Crowns, of course.
Naturally.
Yeah. In the chat, I see
not a barbarian.
No. I see a lot of folks in the chat saying, what are their Halloween watches? Let us know. What other Halloween watches are you looking forward to?
Vince had a good one. He said Screams of a Winter Night.
Ooh.
That is a great Halloween one.
I just got the Kino of that, so that's going to be on my list.
Why do people hate that movie?
I don't know.
How can you hate that? It gets a lot of hate online. Like whenever I post it on Groovy Dome, I had ads for it earlier the weekend. They were like bitching about it, like, "Oh, this movie sucked. I never even finished watching it." I love that movie.
Yeah, people are rude.
Oh, whatever. They're allowed to think whatever they want.
House of Drip Blood's another good one, but a lot of people don't like that. They're like, "Well, there's no blood in it." So what?
Look what I have, Sam. I did my little drinky early.
Ooh, you made the drink?
No, it's a Midori martini.
Ooh, that's nice.
It was the last of my vodka and the last of my Midori.
The Midori's gone too.
Yeah, I can't find it anymore again.
No, same here. I had to use, you'll see in the drink recipe, I had to use the Kuiper melon. It's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah, it's like fingernails on a chalkboard for me, but
yeah,
if you have to use it, you have to use it.
It doesn't have the sweetness of Midori. Midori has just a certain flavor that is unmistakable. And
Yeah.
sponsor the show, please, Midori. We love you. It's in every drink.
It's not quite that. Hey, you know what else I have to mention?
Hmm.
I haven't been promoting this online because I've just been crazy the last couple of days, but my Horror and Sons entry came up on the
Oh, yeah.
Halloween Horrors series.
Yes.
And did you see what I did?
What did you do?
I did Frightmare.
Oh, yeah, I did see it. That's awesome. I love Frightmare.
It was an amateur psychoanalysis of a dysfunctional family who just happened to be into cannibalism.
You know what? Frightmare, I know that it's cheap, right? But I think about it a lot. I think about the end of it a lot. And I think about just how it's very tragic. Like, you know what I mean? That family. And I really dug it.
Yeah. It's just kind of, I would compare it to Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
I think it's just as disturbing as Texas Chainsaw. It's just in a different way.
It feels more human though. Like it's like you're actually getting the emotions of the killer that you don't usually get in a movie.
Texas Chainsaw, I mean, that would make sense if you lived in Texas or the South, you know. And I used to stay with my family in the South. So like I knew about what that weird gas station was like. Those were everywhere in the South. So that was happening where they lived, but you know, where we come from, that seemed like a million miles away. And I think the same is true. It just happens to be like wherever you live, it really affects you.
Yeah. And I did Savages for Horror and Sons, and man, Andy Griffith is like he's great in it, but he is the worst in it. Like it's such a change. And that same year he did that and Pray for the Wildcats. And like he was like, this is the year that I go full on meanie in these movies. And like I love that he like shoots a guy because he just can't control his shots. And he tells the kid who's his guide, he's like, we can just forget this. And you know, and then finally it's like once he realizes the kid's gonna do it, he's like, I'll pay you whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? And then finally he's like, when we go back to town, if you turn me in, they're going to believe me, not you, because I have more money than you. I'm a rich, cultured man, and I'll just tell them you went crazy. And that almost happens. Like it's really good. As you know, like the 70s TV movies are such a perfect world.
Yeah, it was a prime time for that. I see what I did there.
I can't imagine people that had only seen Andy Griffith as, you know, in Mayberry tune that in because it's so good. Like, I think if you know about his whole career, he's in No Time for Sergeants and he does kind of the evil role in that. But like, but if you only knew him for one or for Matlock, like he really has some range, both in that and Pray for the Wildcats, which are both great TV movies. I'm hoping more TV movies always, you know, come out on Blu-rays. That's the best.
Agreed. We need more made-for-TV horror love. Isn't Kolchak coming out again? The whole series?
Oh yeah.
I don't know what the difference is this time.
I'll get it again. I watched a new Amityville movie today. So I've been doing an Amityville challenge for This Is Gonna Hurt podcast, and I've also been guesting every few weeks on another video cast that is doing all Amityville this month. And they're like, why did we do this to ourselves every episode? They're like, what? Why did? And I said, I told you guys whenever you asked me to be on, like, you're gonna pick some movies that are gonna just destroy you. You know what I mean? And like, you're not going to be ready for them. And they're like, what is going on with this? And like, it's not just one movie, but I watched Once Upon a Time in Amityville, which is a cowboy movie. And it's directed by Mark Polonia, who did that one shot on video movie we did with Justin Burning, the one with the kid in the shower. And so like it has a stuffed bat in it that shows up, that has a flaming pentagram that follows it everywhere, but it's obviously a puppet. Holy shit, it was awesome. Like it was exactly what I wanted it to be. It has nothing to do with Amityville other than the town being Amityville before it settled. And the Native American ghosts that are like hinted at in the original movie are all around. It's pretty good.
Wow. They
Yeah.
really got deep into it, didn't they?
They got super deep into it. It's on, and it's not on Tubi yet. It's available on various platforms to rent. If you would, I spent $2 on it. That's how much I believe in this Amityville project. Bill, Amityville Rideshare is next. And
No.
yes, and Amityville Teabag, which is a movie about a Euro horror movie that gets shown in Amityville and possesses people.
You have to be making that up.
I am not making that up. There's some rough ones. The best part though today of putting away the movies is there's been some movies I've been seeking out on streaming that aren't streaming, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I have this, and I forgot that I had it. Or it's on a compilation or it's somewhere, and I'm like, man, like now that they're out and they're not in the boxes, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, oh, I can go back and tune in and watch this. So it's a good feeling. I'm back, as the kids say online. We're back.
Hey, why don't we do the drink segment so that everyone can catch up to me and my Midori Martini, which is not the drink that Sam made, by the way, but here it is.
Someone has a dark secret. Do you have a crypt of dark secrets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Tonight, we're going to do CRYPT of Dark Secrets, and this is the swamp water, which there's a lot of swamp water in this movie. It was shot in Louisiana. There's a lot going on in this movie in less than an hour.
Came from the swamp.
The swampiest of dogs.
Did you come from the swamp?
Yeah, I'm here.
He said, I'd like to give a shout out to Vivi. Hi, Vivi. See you soon.
So, what do we got? What makes swamp water? Good question. 2 ounces of rum, we're going to use Kraken. 1 ounce of vodka, we're going to use Smirnoff. 1/2 ounce of Midori. Guess what? I ran out of Midori doing the drive-in drinks. So we're going to use the Kuiper's Melon. We're going to use some, this is going to get you the swamp color. Some blue curacao. 4 ounces pineapple juice. 2 ounces orange juice. And a little bit of cocoa real. To be real at the end of it.
It's probably green.
Yeah. With swamp water. So we're going to see what it looks like. There's a lot of nutrients in swamp water.
I'm going to put down the swamp.
Yeah, put down the swampy man so we can start barking. All right. Now, this is the swamp essence. If it comes out. You might want to do this after you watch a little bit of this movie. There's a lot of nudity.
Hey.
What? Bill picked it.
Why would there be nudity in a swamp?
Because it's a swamp witch.
Oh, God.
Look at this. No messes.
Yet.
I've been carrying movie boxes all weekend. My strength has left me, but now it's back. Look at that.
This is very swampy.
It is swampy. Whoa, it's got look at all the swamp stuff going on in it. Pazuzu. That is really good. Well, get ready to gather in the swamp. Get ready to grab your dog, your cat, your lover, whatever it is that you have, and enjoy CRYPT of Dark Secrets with us. Pazuzu, see you in a minute.
Pazuzu.
Pazuzu.
This used to be my go-to drink.
Oh, yeah?
All the time. I don't know. It's just like too much for me now. Once in a while, though, it's okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just getting old.
Nah. You're only as old as you feel.
Yeah.
And I feel ancient.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You want to talk about CRYPT of Dark Secrets a little bit?
I think we should.
Yeah. I'm excited.
It's, there are some secrets in it and they're dark and they're mostly naked.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
It's directed by Jack Weiss, who directed Quadroon, Storyville, Death Brings Roses, of course, Mardi Gras Massacre, and strangely enough, a Melissa Etheridge concert video. Sure. I guess maybe he was the only person in New Orleans who could shoot her video. But That's who did it. And the director of photography is Erwin Blanche, who also shot The Legend of Blood Mountain. Bill, have you seen this movie?
No, I know what that is though.
God. It's
Do
like
you like it?
I love it. It was shot 2 different times. It has a Atlanta horror host in it. It's
Yeah.
confounding. But I love it. But this movie's about an hour long, which is, I think, perfect, right? Like, it doesn't overstay its welcome.
It's like 71 minutes. So
Yeah, it's the right time.
It's good to have it on the program when we're doing a late movie.
Yeah, and Dumbala is our heroine, Maureen Chan. And basically, if you enjoy the Linnea Quigley dancing on graves in Return of the Living Dead, somebody does it way better.
You're going to love this.
You're going to love this. And she fools around with a Vietnam vet named Ted. And 3 thieves find out he has money. No spoilers. Stuff happens. She's a voodoo priestess. She can do a lot of stuff. She can levitate, as we saw in the trailer there. And that's a trick that came from the spook show career of the original director, Don Davison. And that same trick he used and did that trick in Herschel Gordon Lewis's Magic Land of Mother Goose. Originally, Davison was making this as a PG voodoo movie and then approached Weiss to improve it. Guess what? He did, but it wasn't PG anymore. And I describe this movie as swamp vibes, voodoo exposition, denim fashion, and a woman who can transform into a snake. There are no perfect movies, they say, but what do they know? 71 minutes of, wow, what is happening? This movie's pretty great. And our friends, we want to be friends with them. Let's call them our friends. Friends at Severin put this out along with the other movie, Death Brings Roses. And I actually bought this at the drive-in, Bill, because I forgot Severin put it out. And I was like, oh, my God. And it has an interview with Maureen Ridley, who is the real name of Maureen Chen, who was in this. And she did it last year. And she talks about how she had absolutely no problem doing this movie and had a blast. She's like super good spirits about this movie. So, which is
Forever in Blue Jeans. Daryl, did you just take us into Neil Diamond territory?
No love is so easy.
Isn't that song? Money Talks and Bullshit Walks.
Is that Sammy Hagar? 3-Lock Box. Oh my gosh, it's played with Mark of the Devil?
It did, yeah.
Oh wow.
It played with a bunch of shit. You're gonna die when you see some of these lineups.
How about the TV ad for this that does a monster truck sell? That we're gonna sell you the whole seat, but you only need the edge. Like what? Yeah. I am excited to see what this played with. Oh, the Cahokia.
Yeah, how about that? This was later, of course. This is later in the run. But I tell you, this is an amazing lineup because look at those movies.
Oh.
Not only do you get CRYPT of Dark Secrets, but Satan's Playthings, which is In the Devil's Garden, a.k.a. Assault. Poor Susie Kendall.
Yeah.
Who on earth would want to harass Susie Kendall?
Seemingly everyone in the 70s.
Motel Hell. And what's that movie, Sam? Kiss the Teacher Goodbye.
Oh, I don't know. Is it what I think it is?
I think it is what you think it is.
Oh, what have you done with
No, not that. That's not that. I'm surprised that that's what you were thinking it was.
Oh, and what is Kiss the Teacher Goodbye then?
It's Horror High.
Oh, okay, perfect. Oh, wow.
It's the Crown International retitled it to make it look like a teacher movie.
Yeah.
Which I don't know was all the rage for half a second, but this is late. I mean, this is 1981 that this was out.
It's interesting because the first night has a crown with babysitter, and then it has a dimension / what do you call who bought dimension after?
I don't remember.
Oh, I just did the whole month of them. That's how brain dead I am.
The whole month of stuff that you did.
Yeah.
Dynamite or not Dynamite, the other one, 21st Century.
21st Century. Thank you so much. Sorry, brain dead for Millennium.
Dynamite.
Yeah, but then Little Darlings and what is Animal High King Frat? What is Animal High?
I don't know what the no, I don't think it's King Frat. It's some other kind of Animal House ripoff.
Hmm. I
I
wonder
don't
what.
know.
I wonder what that was. Oh man.
There's some good shit here. Look at that Crypt Night at the
Oh.
Sage Drive-In.
Oh my God.
Tales from the Crypt and Crypt of Dark Secrets.
Every drive-in here, by the way, the Sage and the Motor View both have amazing logos.
That Motor View has me
Oh.
fainting.
That, and then I also know how you feel about that texture that's running around this ad. It's beautiful. And then
Yeah, I like the style. It reminds me a little too much of a high school notebook, though.
yeah, I
It's like
like it. I love those notebooks though. That might be why I like it. And the very fancy Montana's Finest font for Karish Theaters. Look at that. They're like, man,
Mhm.
these guys are classy. By the way, we're showing Crypt of Dark Secrets all weekend.
They could afford all that shit, but they couldn't actually afford a bigger ad that actually had pictures in it.
Yeah. Oh,
It's a demonic look at madness. So of course they're gonna talk up the demon element of this, and they're gonna be like, "Oh well, it's practically The Exorcist." I mean, if you like The Exorcist, you'll like Crypt of Dark Secrets because it's a demonic look at madness.
yeah.
But the Devil's Crypt, that's could that be the Devil's Nightmare?
It could be.
Get the Devil's Crypt mixed up. It's not the Devil's Nightmare, I don't think. I don't know.
Man, Animal High does not show up anywhere online. I'm trying to find what it was because now I'm going to be obsessed with this.
Oh, you're after that thing,
Yeah.
Animal High. It's gonna be something stupid.
Yeah, no, it's going to be like, oh, there's even a radio spot for it. Oh my God. There was a drive-in mystery movie. Temple Schlock is going to solve this for us.
Mm.
It was in 1979. And the poster has the girl from Delinquent Schoolgirls and Cheerleaders Beach Party, the Cannon movie, was playing with it all the time. It is Sugar Pie, the Don Davison movie. That completely makes sense that a Don Davison movie is playing with this. So, yeah. Okay. Thank you. Sorry. It was half a year after King Frat's release, but it may have played with King Frat. Sometimes King Frat may even use that name too. So,
Oh, so you did know that.
close. Yeah, I got
I
close.
shouldn't doubt you.
Yeah. When it comes to late 70s teen sex comedies, I mean, that's on my resume. If you're looking to hire me, that's something I can do. Look at this though, Bill. What is going? This is a very familiar
Yeah.
image for a kung fu movie playing with Crypt of Dark Secrets.
Like the Don't Look in the Basement chick is gonna be like, hi.
Imagine if she showed up in it. Oh,
I would love it.
that
Rosie
would get you
Holistic.
more into kung fu than you are.
I would have already been into kung fu if she had done something like that.
Yeah.
And this played at the Bayou. I forget where this was.
Oh, what a perfect name for a theater for it to play at.
Right.
Man, now I want to show King Frat a movie that has a fart contest that kills a human being, and it's played for laughs. Oh,
So Baron of Blood.
is that Baron Blood?
It's gotta be, right?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
sisters.
know.
What's funny is like I consider Baron Blood a classy movie, and I definitely consider Sisters a classy movie. I do not consider Crypt of Dark Secrets anything near a classy movie. So I love this triple feature. I love that the first one is going to chase away anybody that has morals. And then they're like, oh, but we got these somewhat fancy movies after. Like, no, we've already left. I'm sorry. My date is already upset.
Well, this was like the main feature, so one of the other movies probably played first.
Even better than they were already in.
Okay.
A demonic look at madness, Bill. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. It cannot be stopped.
No.
Damn The Exorcist. The devil won't let go.
No, she won't. Oh,
How about at midnight, Crypt of Dark Secrets?
it's so scary. It's so scary that Mid and Night put a space between themselves. And they're like, yes, midnight.
It's spookier when you say it that way.
It definitely is.
I think that was the end of that. Oh no, we've got more.
Look
Vault
at
of Horror
oh,
is the co-feature here.
oh, you mean Tales from the Crypt 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look at this. Death Race 2000, Blood on the Sun, Big Birdcage, and
Mm-hmm.
Hot Box. Look at
Hot Box.
Hot
It's
Box.
just tacked on there at the end.
Oh,
Just a little fourth feature, Hot Box.
oh man. No one under
Not bad.
17 will be admitted, Bill. I heard a really funny story this week is like a whole bunch of G and PG movies got like all their numbers went up this week, higher than they had before because they realized that 15 and 16-year-old kids were buying tickets to that and sneaking into Terrifier 3. Which is hilarious. I love it.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah. We need more of that. That's old school kind of things. Oh my God. Now this headline,
Yes.
100%. Well, it makes it sound scary. Like, let me spoil a little bit here. The people that use magic in this are the good guys, right? So that's the good
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. But it's fine. You know what? Whatever talks you into the theater, I don't care.
Well, overstating this, was the point, I guess.
Exactly.
You had to.
Yeah.
When you were trying to sell a movie, okay, we're back where we started with that one. Here comes
oh my God. Oh man, that is great.
Mm-hmm.
I love this playing with a martial arts movie. That's the perfect double feature for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got no problem with that.
No, I love it. It's such a weird, because you know what? Even if you like this movie's so fast that like, even if you're not vibing with it, it's not that long, and it changes gears a couple times. It's you'll be fine.
So one of the strangest things is that this movie never had an alternate title.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird for a movie like this, like an ultra low budget regional horror film that did not get a lot of distribution. It never played Pittsburgh.
Mm-mm.
That's why I have no drive-in panel to show you with it. And there's no alternate title, at least none that I'm aware of. So, except when it was on home video. I've got these home video clips to show you guys.
Something weird put it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's where I first saw it.
Was it this?
I remember seeing this box art and being like, what is this? Because this box art, it feels totally different than what you're about to see too. Do you know what I mean? This feels like it's going to be like a Euro horror movie and it's not.
Technically there are eyes that are sort of like that in this movie, but it's not the way you think.
Yeah. It's funny because like it has things that Euro horror has in it, but yet it is not Euro horror. Like there's no point do you feel like you're on acid. Like it's just, maybe you do. It feels more like moonshine than acid. If you're a drug. Oh, look at that cover.
Yeah, this is the only alternate title that exists for this movie on another VHS release that obviously tries to make this look like a much classier movie.
Yeah.
Despite the fact of what you're looking at on the cover of this box.
Yeah, I like the pentagram too. Like they couldn't even get the star inside the circle, but whatever,
Did you notice my pentagrams in that opening video?
Oh, Bill, did I notice?
There was an occult explosion taking place in the Western world.
There sure was.
Did you ever see that movie?
Which was that from the one British documentary about it?
The Occult Experience.
Yes, I have seen it. The Frank Hennerlotter, I saw Dustin mentioned it. Like he had that whole line from Something Weird, and like I covered a lot of them last month or over the summer on the site, and he had a lot of great movies that he picked. Bill, that font for CRYPT OF DARK Secrets is amazing.
I don't know why it ended up sideways like this,
but look how beautiful that is. I like that sometimes the letters just on top of a block, other times like the O forms something. It's good. Again, that tagline has nothing to do with this movie. Like
it looks like a love-in or something.
It does. It's like, what is she got to watch? Like, what's going on?
CRYPT OF Dark Secrets love-in.
Yeah. Oh wow, dragons never die. Oh, you know what? That's another 21st century. The River Niger is another 21st century or Dimension movie that 21st Century bought when they got all their films. Because that was one of Dimension's like not Oscar bait, but that was like one of their, you know,
A serious film.
a serious film where
That
they're
was-
like, oh, this reviewed really well. Like Alfred Woodard's in it. I think I can't remember. There's a couple like really high end actors and actresses in it. So it was like a good, you know, sometimes it helps when you're a very scummy company that puts out scummy movies to be like, well, we had a couple well reviewed. Canada did the same thing.
Speaking of dirty movies,
Oh my god. Okay. Let me get to that in a second. But Truck Turner is awesome. Have you seen Truck Turner, Bill?
oh, have I seen it?
It's like a superhero movie. There's so many bad
Yeah.
guys in it, and there's a new bad guy introduced every 5 minutes. But Misty Beethoven and Abner and the next screen over. God, I
You
like.
think you could turn around and watch it out the back window?
I think so. I like that they cut the title. They took out the opening of, and they're like, it's just Misty Beethoven. So, yeah. But wow, I like that CRYPT OF DARK SECRETS got the lion's share of this ad, though.
Yeah, look at that though. They blacked out the word sexual in the
Yeah.
tagline.
Yeah.
That was too far.
Yeah. Well, also they took out the opening. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's like you're showing Misty Beethoven that you're driving. The time for being prurient is over. You're doing it. Like,
You're not stopping it by not printing the name in the paper.
yeah. I mean, just embrace it at this point. Do you know what I mean? Like you're doing it.
Do you think there's-
Nobody's fooled. Nobody's going to come. Oh, Misty Beethoven. That's about Beethoven's daughter. No, they're not coming for that.
It's a serious film.
I mean,
Like the
it
River
is.
Niger,
Yeah, exactly. This is.
Misty Beethoven. It sounds very serious.
Yeah, it was beyond the dark. It penetrates beyond the darkness of possession, I guess. Yeah. Why didn't they just black out? They should just been beyond the darkness possession.
Beyond the Darkness,
Whoa, Omega.
the U.S. title of Magdalena,
Oh yeah,
also had possession in the tagline. I can't remember what that tagline was.
oh,
Is there
what a
anything?
golden time of movies to just be like, you know what? We're kind of like it. Look at this.
Look at that Late Show at the Joy Theater.
I know, right?
Dirty, dirty movies with Marilyn Chambers.
She was the Ivory Soap girl.
Hmm.
Not for long.
She got paid a lot of money for those movies,
Oh,
or at least they owed her. Well, correction, I don't know how much of that money she actually got.
I think the Mitchells paid somewhat decently, but
I think if they hadn't paid her, she would have never done another one with them.
yeah, exactly.
So it made her a lot of money. At least that's the way the story goes, because she, she didn't take a salary; she took a percentage.
Yeah,
So they had to pay her like a shit ton of money when that movie became a hit.
yeah,
It's good for her.
yeah, exactly.
I hope she lived real good, at least for a while.
Yeah, I do like the dead do return to live again and again and again. That's a good line. You'll be shocked, worked over, and wiped out. Did somebody really say that? Did the New York Times even see this movie? I'm going to say, Bill, that they didn't. Like that feels like complete bullshit.
That's clipped from something else.
It
Yeah.
100% is. They did not say that about this movie.
I mean, what movie did they watch? I want to know.
I mean, I was. Yes.
It's not that kind of movie, though. It's
No,
not going
it's-
to wipe you out or work you over.
No, this isn't the kind of movie that some kid on Twitter is going to write about. Like, I still am thinking about it. I was afraid.
This is a vibe. This
Yeah.
movie is a total vibe.
Yeah. Just this movie's, it's cool, right? I like it. It's not like the best grass you've ever smoked, but it's good. You'll remember it.
Any grass is okay grass.
I like calling it grass too. Doesn't it give it like a 70s vibe?
Yeah, I like to be more like Chris McNeil, who
Yeah.
says, God, I don't even smoke grass. I'd
Yeah.
tell you. So look at this. This was from the area where the movie was actually filmed. They
Yeah.
were local heroes.
Oh,
And they didn't even have an ad for the movie in the paper. It was one of those papers that was only published on Thursday.
do you like that Ronald Tannett is a professional man?
Yeah. He's for me,
Yeah.
and she's for most of the people that are watching this movie.
I was going to ask when I watched this, because I know like most people who are watching this at the drive-in is like, she is like very Laura Gemser.
Yeah.
Attractive, and Bill's like, yeah, but what about the guy wearing all the denim with his bearing his
His
belly?
chubby belly is
Yeah.
sticking out of his work clothes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
like
wearing
that.
the Canadian tuxedo.
Mm-hmm. And then the sexy lady, she has sex with him.
Yeah,
She's gonna do it.
a couple times. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Wow, like it. I like that this got some. I like currently playing around town as a local product from start to finish.
A local product. Yeah, that's a very professional thing to say.
How about an amazing scene occurs when all of them are thrown together and on a haunted island deep in the bayous off the Tefunk Day River? Yeah, stuff happens. None of the plot is really mentioned.
It all happens. Well, what would you say about the plot of this movie? How would you describe it?
I can do it in a sentence. Do you know what I mean? Like it's got like a sentence. Like, but like even if I tell you the plot, it's like, yeah, I guess. You know, like I don't know. There's flashbacks. I don't want to give it away. Do you know what I mean? Like it feels like I'm going to give it away if I give you the plot too much. Just enjoy it. Just roll in. You know?
It's a little bit of a revenge film, I guess we could say.
It is, and it's kind of like a Vietnam vet trying to get away from it, right? So he's like living in the swamp. But even that, like that's like talked up in like the description of the movie, and I'm like, yeah, they really don't get into it that much. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
It's like very much like a broad brushstroke plot. It's like he's living in the swamp and he likes. There's something going on with him and this girl. They're kind of into it, and then like you know,
some trashy locals
get involved, and then she has to assert herself and dance on tombstones, and
yeah.
And then we see a flashback to like how she got her awesome powers, and then everybody pays.
This movie has a little bit in common with Larry Buchanan's The Naked Witch.
Yeah, it does.
Because there's a lot of scenes of her like frolicking in the water. She's a water nymph or whatever. Yeah. And there's lots of scenes of this mysterious woman getting in and out of the water and showing off her naked body.
And a lot of like snake swimming scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, she loves her snakes.
Yeah, so she's into snakes, and she might be a snake. I'm a snake.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
She's kind of like, is she a snake? Is she a woman? Who knows?
Who knows? And you'll tell you what, you guys, when you watch it, you let us know what you got out of it. Probably good things. I think. This feels like, honestly, though, Bill, like we talk about this a lot. Like sometimes people want to get really super intellectual about drive-in movies and like get elevated horror about it and tell you what this means. And this is, I could do that. Like you could totally come up with some bullshit thing about this movie, but fuck that. Right. Like this is like just a movie to play for 71 minutes while you eat a funnel cake and smoke weed. And you know what? Good. That's what it is there for. Like, isn't that what there's certain movies? That's what they should be for. And it outkicks its coverage. It's way better than that. Do you know what I mean? Like any movie could just be a bunch of junk for 71 minutes. This movie has some interesting junk. It's like, you know what? Like Doritos aren't good for you, but Cool Ranch Doritos are awesome. You know what I mean?
CRYPT of Dark Secrets is very good for you.
It's very good for you. And this is the kind of movie that I'm like, yeah, this is right. This is a good movie. Speaking of Bill, I've been watching too many new movies lately.
Like what?
I watched Salem's Lot, and I wrote about that.
Well, I haven't watched that one yet.
I don't. It's like it combines characters, and like it's an action movie, and it's like, and I realized going into it, like both other times that it had been made, it had a lot of time because they were TV, events, miniseries, or multiple nights, and it's like it's very hard to do any Stephen King story outside of the short stories in an hour and a half. But And it's also very hard because I know like there's nobody's gonna be better than James Mason at playing his part, but no one even tries. Do you know what I mean? Like it eliminates a lot of my favorite parts of the story. So I just didn't like it. Also, it tries to, and this is something I really dislike, Bill, but it tries to psychologically or scientifically explain why vampires exist. And then at one point,
Oh,
spoiler warning, at one point, one of the characters gives herself a rabies shot and doesn't become a vampire because the vampirism is like rabies. And I was like, that's I should have just shut it off. At that point, I was like, what? No. Like I don't want that. Like I just be
oh my
vampires. I
God.
don't
Yeah.
need to know.
You don't
that-
question vampires. You don't study them scientifically.
No.
They just show up and they're, vampires. They kill
Yeah.
you and then you become one. It's
I-
easy.
I also watched Woman of the Hour on Netflix, the dating game movie about the serial killer who was on the dating game, and they obviously could not get any of the hosts of the dating game's rights. Do you know what I mean? They
Sure.
made up a fake host, and he is very sexist and very horrible in it. And I was like, oh, that's why Jim Lang didn't give his. He's obviously Jim Lang, but not. But yeah, it's all right. I don't know if I'd watch it again. The end of it's pretty cool. There's some interesting stuff at the end, and I really like the way it was shot. But it was like, yeah, okay. I also realized that like when I watch something that's like a Euro horror jam, Bill, I watched Nightmare in Venice this week. Amazing. I watched Girl Slaves and Morgan Le Fay. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
No.
It's coming out from Mono Macabre pretty soon. It's a French movie about oh man, a female couple is backpacking through Europe, and as you do, they run out of gas. They were driving a car, but then they ran out of gas, and they're like, yeah, let's just backpack, right? Because we're rich girls from America, and we'll figure it out. And they get to this barn, and they're like, let's just sleep here tonight. And they wake up, and the other one's not there because it turns out that there's this dwarf that kidnaps women and takes them to a to another magical kingdom that's lorded over by Morgan Le Fay. And you get to pick, like, hey, do you want to live forever and be beautiful? Cool, you have to worship me. And every girl must says yes, except for a few that become old crones and like hang out in her dungeon.
Wait a minute. If you say no, you get turned into an old crone.
Yeah, and you get
That's
stuck.
not fair.
Yeah.
That's not a choice.
Yeah. But I got to tell you, Bill, unlike this movie really feels like you're like swimming underwater for a lot of it. It's all fog and just people like drink wine off each other and just eat long eating scenes and just it's great. It's just like wow. That's what my joy has been this week is going through and looking at what movies played Chiller Theater because I'm doing a couple of Chiller things. And here's my thought on Chillers. Like I imagine that guys came home from work in the mill in the 70s and said, I'll turn on Chili Billy. Do you know what I mean? And then they're confronted by something that it's just like, what the fuck am I watching? Right? Like I get it. Like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, they're probably fine with it. But like Jess Franco's Count Dracula played on it. Do you know what I mean? Like Lipstick played on it, which is mind blowing that Lipstick played on Chiller Theater. Like a lot of
yeah. It was getting really bad. I think they were just throwing anything on there.
Yeah.
That was towards the end.
Yeah, but Footprints on the Moon played on it. Blue Sunshine played on it. Unidentified Flying Objects, which is a crazy movie that is like, I really think the government was behind that movie. And they were like, let's make flying saucers as boring as we can. And it's like the most exciting person in it's Harry Morgan. And when he's the most exciting person in a movie, you're like, what? Like,
yeah, that's a bad sign.
Oh, it's like Dragnet, the UFO movie. It's just like people sitting around talking about UFOs. And Becca said, is this the business class of it? Like, it really feels like the business class. Like it's a lot of people talking about money and UFOs.
Hello to Kara Lee Lucusta.
Hello.
I think I hope I said your name right. And hello to everyone who's been hanging out with us on this segment. We hope you'll come back after CRYPT of Dark Secrets. You were talking about what you watched on TV. that's new. I wanted to tell you before we go to the movie that I watched VHS Beyond.
Oh, how was it?
It was okay.
Oh,
I don't know.
I like those movies. I think they're good.
I do too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not great, but none of them are really great. Like you just take what you can get, I guess, out of those VHS movies. It
I
doesn't
like the
really,
last one a lot. I thought the last one was fun.
I can't remember. I watched two of them that I hadn't seen back to back. It was like 99, and then there was a Viral or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
They all run together. But this one has a really weak wraparound
Oh,
common thread. Like, and there's parts of it that don't really jibe with those, those wraparound segments. So that doesn't make sense. But some of the individual stories are really good. There's one about a woman who is a stowaway on an alien ship,
ooh.
and weird things start happening to her. It's really disturbing, and that's probably the best one. And there was one there was a funny one about this crazy lady who ran a doggy daycare center, and there was something sinister going on there, absolutely sinister, in a human centipede kind of way.
Mm.
And what else? Oh, there was also another one about this weird creature. This is the part I didn't understand, because the wraparound segment is about aliens.
Mm.
And you would think that every movie was about aliens, and then they started showing this one where the villain of the movie turns out to be something that is not an alien. But I was I was like, wait a minute, is this something from outer space? Turns out it wasn't. I didn't understand the rules of VHS Beyond.
No.
So be prepared for that. But otherwise, if you liked any of the other in the series, you'll like it.
Have you watched Horror's Greatest on Shudder yet?
No.
Ben Shear's on it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, he's one of the talking heads, and he has a long discussion on Friday the 13th in the first episode that's really great. He's really great on it. Of course, he's always really well put together and stuff, but he's really, really good on the show. And I forgot he was on it. And then I heard him talking. I'm like, is that Ben? I was like, yeah, it is. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because those shows are usually people saying, well, really, it's the best of the sequels. And like, yeah, okay, you don't really get anything out of it. And he actually has a couple of different parts where he speaks about like what movies meant to him, and it's really well done.
All right. CRYPT of Dark Secrets is on Tubi, and I put the link on Groovy Doom. So just go grab that link and watch it, and come back afterwards. We'll have lots more to say, and you'll get to find out what movies we're doing next week. It's a double feature, and they're both totally awesome. You're going to love it. So come back later.
Thanks for coming to this one.